You ever been watching a football game and you see the quarterback sail the ball like 10 yards over the receiver and you're like, what in the world was this guy thinking? Well, a lot of times it wasn't the quarterback's fault. His receiver ran the wrong route. Thankfully, the Vikings don't have this problem a whole lot because I think that Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs are two of the best route running receivers in the NFL right now. You don't appreciate that enough. Everyone likes to watch the Randy Mosses, the Odell Beckham Jr.'s, the guys that make big, exciting, acrobatic catches, right? But it's the guys that run the right routes that are productive game in and game out. The guy that the quarterback can trust because when he throws the ball, he's gonna be there. Do you ever feel like you're not getting anything from God? Like your prayers aren't being answered? Like he's not even hearing you? A lot of times I feel like God has something for us and he's trying to get us stuff, but we're just running the wrong routes. How do we expect to get what God has for us if we're not in the place that God wants us to be? It's like God is throwing all these ins and we're running outs. And it's like if we ran the route that God told us to run, we'd be in position. The ball is right there where it needs to be. And we're looking at God, how come you not get me anything? I was open. Why aren't you throwing me the ball? If you're not running the right route, you're not going to get the ball. In the Bible, the prophet Elijah was fed by ravens one time. God told him, go to this certain place, and I've sent ravens. They're going to bring you food. But God had already sent the ravens. So I believe they were going there anyways. If Elijah had gone somewhere else and decided to do his own thing or maybe stay put, he wouldn't have got fed because the food would have been over there where God sent the ravens. Elijah had to go where God told him to go so he could receive what God had for him. I wonder how often in our lives are we missing what God has for us because we're not going where God told us to go? What if our blessings are raining down from heaven over there where we're supposed to be? I wonder if we're missing out because we're in the wrong place, because we ran the wrong route. I don't blame God. He's not a bad quarterback. He's not missing us. I think sometimes we just run the wrong route, and you can't run somebody else's route. A lot of us look at successful people or other people just around us that we think are successful, and we try to do what they do. And we compare ourselves to other people and say, well, this person's doing this, and if I do that, then I'll get the same thing. They may have ran exactly where God wants them to be, and he delivered for them there. But that's not where God has me. Just because somebody else received their blessing running a slant doesn't mean that I'm gonna get my same blessing if I run the same slant. Or we go to church thinking that there's some blanket formula of do this, this, and this, and you'll receive from God. But there is no formula. There's no one single route. Like if everybody runs slants, then everybody's gonna get from God. That's not how that works. There's different routes, right? We need to hear from him specifically to know exactly where to run and what route to run. God has something different, unique for each and every one of us. So talk to God, listen when he tells you to run a certain route, when he tells you to go somewhere. Sometimes you're supposed to stay. Sometimes we start running down the field and we don't receive from God because he's like, I'm trying to throw it to you right here. And you won't stay where you're supposed to be. This is why it's so important to hear the voice of God and listen to his direction. God has something that he's trying to get to you, but you have to be in the right place to catch it.